Hello everyone, just want to do a quick weekend analysis. Let's start off with Amazon. So here's the weekly chart on the left side and I have daily time frame on the right side. Okay, so on the weekly time frame you can see we did see a little bit of inverted hammer with the top wick. It's kind of a little bit more obvious here in the daily time frame. You can see earlier last week we had this bearish looking bar, and then the following day we couldn't even go halfway through it. But on Friday we opened up pretty strong, but we did give up all that move and closed towards the low end of the week and even the day as well, with some increased volume. So we're still in an uptrend. So right now, before we turn bearish, we just have to turn on a higher time frame neutral first before we turn bearish right now. So yeah, it's just considered a pullback as of right now. You can see Amazon has held the 20 SMA in the daily time frame really nicely throughout the past couple of months, and every time we see a pullback we get a bounce back up. Here's the trend line, the dotted purple line, and here's the 20 SMA bounces. As the stock pulls back, it goes up. So the 20 SMA right now is uptrending, and 2600 is the SMA right now. So by the time this comes back down, if it does at all, this should come back up a little bit. So I'm assuming this trend line support, this and if you zoom in, these two bars also provided some nice support right here. So there's a lot of support here at 2630 zone. So we should see some buyers show up if this was to move down in the daily time frame. And if I drill down to let's say 2 hourly, similar story. Sort of double topish here. You can see we were having a hard time going above 2780, couldn't even close above it, but then we gave up all that move and kind of drifted down, right? So now 2670, and then below that 2630 is a good support zone to look for. Multiple things working in buyers' favor, I think, if we are to see a move down like that. Okay, Apple. Again, weekly, very strong uptrend. Nothing really bearish here. Yes, you will see a lot of people saying things about, hey, it's a top wick and all that stuff, but it did. Yeah, I mean, if you see that as a top wick, but it's still an uptrend. It's just it was a top wick right here a couple of weeks ago as well, right? But then it just kept going up. So the trend is still intact. This purple line here is being a very good trend line to kind of get long on pullbacks. As you can see, it has held that trend line nicely. 20 SMA has also provided support, although the stock has not come all the way down to 20 SMA. It would just get bounced from the trend line. However, if we are to see a move down, this 345 area is a strong support. We have multiple touch points there in the daily time frame, and also the trend line, the 20 SMA. So 345 should act as good support before we start rolling over, if we do at all. But right now that would be a good risk and reward to get long here around 345. Okay, all right, let's look at Microsoft. So the pullback in Microsoft was not that strong. Yes, it does have this top wick, but it kind of held really nicely, I would say, towards the top end of its weekly range. So that is nice to see in for bulls. And again, 20 SMA, good support all throughout. Pullbacks have been an opportunity to go along. We do have a little bit of this bottom wick here in the daily time frame, but since most of the other stocks are weak, we'll just consider this for right now that is weak as well. So on any move down, first support comes at 193.7, and then 191.40 should act as support, and then we have a little bit of gap fill area here. But 187 is a very strong support because this was a strong resistance on the way up. Okay, Netflix. Weekly chart, nice green bars, trend bars, and then whatever red bars we see bottom wick, so buyers would step in on any pullbacks. We could not close above 460 in the weekly time frame, and as you can see, we got this sort of again an inverted hammer bar showing that the sellers are in control in the short term. Okay, if we go to the daily time frame, the 20 SMA has not been a good support in the case of Netflix. As you can see, we kind of go all the way down, and 50 SMA is more of a support because it's a volatile, wacky stock. It moves, it gives a lot of range. So 20 SMA, is not a good proxy. I would use 50 SMA as a good proxy, which comes in at around 433 as of right now. So we do have a big bearish trend bar from Friday. We did close above, I would say this 440, 439 support zone. But if we are to take that off, 432 is the 50 SMA, and then 425 comes into the picture as a support zone. That should be act as a good support because we have a lot of touch points here in the weekly and even in the lower time frame as well. If I were to drill down to 2 hourly, similar story. We kind of drifted a little bit up on the sideways in the past couple of sessions, but then Friday we saw a big dump down. So let's see how the Monday market opens up, and if we hold this 440 level or start giving it up, and then we can target 425 on the downside. But so far it has made these higher lows. Let's see if it tries to make another higher low in a lower time frame and starts going back up. But for right now, I would be more, I would say, more neutral to bearish in Netflix right now. Okay, let's look at NVDA. So NVDA, again, this 347, as you can see in the weekly time frame, has been a very strong support. We have had like 5 weeks where it kind of tried to make its move down from that 347 area, but couldn't do it. And then finally we got some little bit of pushback towards the top side. But then last week we did kind of come back down below 370 and close below 370. The daily time frame shows 20 SMA again as good support level. Touch point here, right here, bottom wick right there, and then throughout the recent history we have these 20 SMA as a good support level, and we are almost right there with a couple of dollars down from Friday's low. So 363 is a good support right now in the short term to look for. If that gets taken out, we will be below support and below 20 SMA, and then 347 becomes the next big support to look for. But if I were to drill down to, let's say, 2 hourly time frame, there's a lot of congestion here between 363 and 347. So yes, we can see some support levels here, but the real strong support is 347 area. Not sure if we'll go there, but right now that is the case. I would want to be long above 372 in this name. Once we see 372 plus, that means we are seeing some buyer step in and we can play a quick upside. But to be really aggressively bullish, I would want to get one daily close in a green bar above this 20 SMA, and that will show me yes, the buyers have stepped in and they are ready to take it back up. Okay. ROKU, this downtrend line has been a very stiff resistance. As you can see, the purple line, every time we touch that, we kind of move back down. In the daily time frame, yes, we did touch that again. We moved down, but we are kind of consolidating here under the trend line. Now, if we are to move back up, we want to see that move happen quickly rather than later, because right now the momentum is on this side with this weekly green bar, as you can see. If it was to break out, so I would like to see it up close above 130 first, and then a follow through which will take it above 135, and then that would be considered a breakout of this recent zone that it has been trading between 110, 130. That's been a sort of a range for ROKU. Okay, let's go to BA. Weekly time frame shows some lower highs every week. However, this 170 support is holding so far, and on Friday, which was a big down day, we did not really see aggressive selling in this name. So let's see if it tries to pick back up. The level to watch for on upside on a daily time frame would be 179, because that would mean you are above this daily downtrend line as well, and also the horizontal price resistance as well. Anything below 166, 156 is your first support area, which is also the 50 SMA in the daily time frame, which is right here. So look for that and see if it goes and bounces back up. That will be a tell that buyers have stepped back in. Okay, last but not the least, Tesla. This one is actually really nice because it is above its weekly resistance of 910, and we got this nice consolidation around $1,000 price point, and now we are seeing the stock kind of just moving sideways, and it's still holding the 20 SMA in the daily time frame. The trend line, if you can see the channel here, the channel is still intact. So we're in sort of this I would say rectangulish range. So anything above that, our target, if you take the double of this, so about 908 to 1009 is like 110, 120 points. So anything above that, so the target becomes close to 1,140. So that will become your top side target, which can be reached given this upper trend line of this channel can be a good target point on any break to the upside from the 1020 level. Okay, hope you guys like it, and talk to you guys soon.